It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Friday's Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast. On this, the 21st day of June 2024, coming to you from a very warm Lynchburg, Virginia area. Actually, Bedford County, right outside of Lynchburg. It's going to be another hot one today, folks. 93, 94, somewhere in that vicinity. I was looking at the calendar this morning, or the weather this morning. They're calling for like the next 10 days here to be 90 or better every day. So we're definitely into a very hot spell. So, I mean, I don't mind it with my pool. You know, I'll be out there this afternoon again. Definitely getting the mileage out of it once I got over the cold water. All right, we got a couple stories this morning. Not a whole lot of news, but a little bit. The come on, tongue. Oceania Insignia, there you go, Rescues 68. We got a special Broadway cruise coming up. Don't feed the birds. We'll talk about that a little bit. Sitka residents proposed limits. Not another one. Holland America partners with Lindt. And lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. Today, folks, is National Wagyu Day. Now, for those of you that don't know, Wagyu is really good beef. Yeah, it costs a little bit more, but it's awesome. If you ever get a chance to eat a Wagyu burger or a Wagyu steak, I promise you, you'll like it. But it's probably a way just to get more money. But I don't know, it's grass-fed or I don't know how they feed it. Whatever, to make it a Wagyu. Maybe they feed little Wagyus. I don't know. All right, if you're listening by the podcast, welcome aboard. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the fat travel guy. We do this 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, at 11 o'clock. So, and we have a couple of features. We have some interviews on occasions. I really like to expand my interview, my guest list. All right, so before we get to the news this morning, I told you yesterday that I was having trouble with the pictures Roger uploaded. Look at that, man. That's the Matterhorn. I'd never say the full name of it, but the Matterhorn. And that was right after he got off the train up to it. Of course, on the train, they gave him lots of Swiss chocolates. But anyway, that's from Roger down in Jacksonville. And then Bethany is in Bruges today, Bruges, Belgium, which I have to admit is a lovely, lovely place. A couple of the churches there. And Bethany, come on, Tom. Bethany looks just right at home there, doesn't she? Bruges is one of the places that has canals. It just doesn't get the rap that other places do. This looked lovely to me. Moulets et frites. That's mussels and fries. And I do see a little beer there in the background. I wouldn't say anything about that. And that's in the square. Anyway, I think this probably wraps up Bethany's cruise, come to think about it. That might be her last day on the ship. So certainly do appreciate, as always, her taking the time to put stuff up that we can steal and use. So one other thing, folks, before we get to the hardcore part of the news, and that comes from Elizabeth down in Playa del Carmen.
So the rain is coming down just a bit, just in case you were wondering if we were going to get more rain. There you go.
So lots of rain down in Playa del Carmen, which is, of course, right near Cozumel. But actually, what I think is happening down there has to do with the fact that the second storm, the first storm, Alberta, that's gone. That's long gone. That's now, as a matter of fact, the remnants of it are in West Texas and New Mexico. But this other system, man, is parked right there. Again, right on the Yucatan Peninsula. Directly over the Yucatan Peninsula, a broad area of low pressure is forecast to form over southeastern Mexico and northern Central America later today. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development after the system moves over the Bay of Campeche tomorrow, and a tropical depression could form over the southwestern Gulf of Mexico this weekend while it moves slowly west-northwestward or northwestward. The chance of further formation over the next 48 hours is at 40%, 60% over the next 7 days. Meanwhile, in the southwestern Atlantic, a small but concentrated area of showers and thunderstorms persists, with an area of low pressure located about 225 miles east of Jacksonville. It's unclear if the system possesses a well-defined surface circulation. Environmental conditions remain marginally conducive for some additional development, and the system could become a short-lived tropical depression as the low moves west-northwestward at 10 to 15 miles an hour. The system is expected to approach the northeastern coast of Florida or the Georgia coast later today, and interests there should monitor the progress of the system. An Air Force reconnaissance aircraft is scheduled to investigate the system later this morning if necessary. Talking about a 50% chance of further development in 48 hours and a 50% chance over the next 7 days. And by the way, one of the things to point out from Eli down there, she did say that there's not a whole lot of wind like there was when Alberta went through. She's on the clean side of the storm, so she's not getting a whole lot of wind yet. If this thing continues to develop on the dirty side of the storm, she's going to start getting the wind back up again. So, just saying. Take the rain and hopefully it'll move on and not be bad again. All right. I'll be back with a couple more stories after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. Oceania Insignia conducted a rescue operation off the Canary Islands, saving 68 migrants from a distressed dinghy. The rescue unfolded after the oil tanker Philip Oldendorf initially spotted the refugees' wooden boat adrift in the Atlantic Ocean approximately 440 miles south of Tenerife. Sailing from nearby Mindelo, Cape Verde, on a 22-night segment from Cape Town, South Africa to Lisbon, Portugal during its 180-day around-the-world cruise. The Insignia was redirected to the scene by the Spanish Maritime Safety and Rescue Agency. Unfortunately, upon arrival of the rescue, Insignia crew discovered the dinghy also contained 5 deceased individuals. They managed to recover 3 bodies, but adverse weather conditions prevented the retrieval of the remaining 2. The 62 men, 3 women, and 3 minors rescued were from sub-Saharan Africa. For the 3rd year in a row, Norwegian Cruise Line is bringing the glitz and glamour of the theater to the high seas. The Broadway Cruise 3, which will be hosted on board the Norwegian Gem, will be sailing on March 31st. The 4-night round-trip charter sailing from Miami will feature 2 days at sea and a call at Cozumel on April the 2nd. But while the itinerary is rather sparse, the real fun of this theatrical sailing is in the exclusive experiences on board, designed for both theater lovers and actors to enjoy. The voyage will come with a full slate of entertainment from award-winning Broadway stars, including intimate performances in the Stardust Theater, tribute shows, Broadway karaoke with a live band, piano bar sing-alongs, and stage door autograph experiences at sea. There will also be panels and Q&A sessions with Broadway creatives and stars, as well as dance classes and interactive workshops. Cruise around the world with the Will Model C2. That's the chair that I use. Our chairs will easily fit through accessible cabin doors and can navigate those tight spaces and crowded places. To see if Will may be right for you, click on the link below to schedule a test drive. Just tell them to use code CHILLIE for all your mobility needs. That's scootaroundstore.com. Carnival via Ambassador John Heald voiced several reasons why Carnival prohibits feeding birds like seagulls from its ships. First, they can be very messy. Food eaten must come out, if you know what I mean. Guests are liable for any illegal dumping or pollution of any kind, including discharge of any items into the ocean and or waterways. Passengers who don't follow this policy risk a $500 charge at best to early disembarkation at worst. It can also be very dangerous to feed the local wildlife, as it may encourage them to stop hunting, foraging, or scavenging as they normally would, changing these life-sustaining behaviors and preventing them from getting the nutrients they need to survive. Bottom line, folks, don't feed the birds when you're on a cruise. A group of Sitka, Alaska residents has taken action against the increasing cruise ship tourism to their town by applying for a ballot initiative aiming to reduce the number of tourists arriving by the 2025 season. The proposed ordinance, prepared by the nonprofit organization Small Town Soul, seeks to introduce stricter visitation caps as well as a shortened cruise season. Holland American Line is adding a delicious twist to its cruises by partnering with Lindt and Sprungly, the creators of the beloved Lindor truffles and the leading premium chocolate brand in the U.S. This exciting collaboration promises to elevate the onboard experience with an array of chocolate-themed treats and exclusive desserts, making every voyage a true indulgence for chocolate lovers. Join us on a totally unique transatlantic cruise on Norwegian Epic. This cruise sails from New York on March 31st, arrives in Rome on April 15th. With stops in Bermuda, Punta Delgada, Lisbon, Barcelona, Cannes, Livorno, and Naples. What a fantastic cruise. Cabins start at $1,632 per person. All you have to do is call me, 434-258-9264, and we'll sail from New York to Rome on the Norwegian Epic. All right, that's the cruise coming up in March of next year. Hope you'll join us. Still got some cabins available. That's going to end the news portion of the show for the week. Let's go see who's in the chat room. Abasi Chinakaram Gabriel says, hey, back at you. Mike's with us. Good morning, Mike. Internet connectivity problems yesterday, so late joining the podcast. I meant to mention that at the start of the show. When I processed the show yesterday, you guys said in there that there was issues with audio and stuff. So I processed the show like normal at the end, and when I tried to upload the podcast, there was nothing there. It was dead. So I just redid the show. So, I realized Kenneth was the only person in the audience. Nobody knew about it. I just realized it was bad and jumped in and just retaped the show so I could get the podcast up. So, yeah. So, and I have no idea why. I don't think it was my fault. I've never had that happen before, at least. I'm guessing it was StreamYard. I've had some issues with StreamYard this week, but they've gotten them fixed. But I'm assuming that's what it was. I just don't know. I'm scratching my head. Yesterday, I'm still scratching my head. Hotter Tom's up there in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, up there with the Pennsylvania Dutch. Joanne's with us. Happy Friday, y'all, Joanne says. Joanne did pop in at the end of the second show yesterday. Elizabeth says, Buenos dias from another stormy, windy day. The winds have picked up since you sent me a message this morning. There's Roger from Jacksonville. Alaska cruise in 18 days. Roger, I am so glad you're getting out and going, my friend. I really am. Gary Older Than Dirt's with us. He and I are going to be heading to Alaska. It's not quite 18 days, a little bit longer than that. And so will Gretchen, who's with us this morning also. Morning, Gretchen, out in Ohio. I love Bruges. And am I saying it right? Bruges? It looks lovely to me. Bob's with us. Wishes everybody a good weekend. Jim's here. Good morning, Jim. Kenneth's with us up in Pennsylvania. Eli says the wind has already returned and the tarp over the terrace is blown off. Pretty bad right now, but nothing serious, really. Yeah, well, that's, you're down there where you can get some really bad ones. But, this probably the second one is just at best, at worst, I guess you should say, a depression. It hasn't reached tropical storm status yet. So, and hopefully it'll go on and start moving and move away from you and just take the rain and a little bit of wind with it. Todd's with us. Good morning. Did I miss what the national food or the drink of the day was? Yeah, it was the Wagyu beef. The Wagyu beef. I didn't hear, Tom didn't hear it either. Did I not do Wagyu beef and thought I did? I don't know. I thought I talked about Wagyu beef. There's Roger says Wagyu beef. Yeah. So see, Roger heard. Hot Air Tom says you mentioned it too. Your redo of yesterday's show was much better. I was driving and had a circle of death right after the initial music started. Was not sure if it was me or you. Yeah. The intro and nothing. Just nothing. So unless somehow my computer, this is a controlled button pushing. Unless when I clicked on to go online, it didn't click on, but you think I would see that. Anyway, I apologize for that, folks. It wasn't a bad show, so you might want to catch the replay. Guess it was you or YouTube or StreamYard. Yeah, well, it'd be one of the three of them. Well, it could be Wi-Fi too. Gary says 53 days to boarding. There we go. 53 days till we're on our way to Alaska. Got 53 days before I'm going to leave town again. I better not say that on the air. Hot Air says, my bad memory. Yep, I remember the Wagyu beef. Okay. Yes, you talked about Wagyu. I declare it. Thank you, Eli. Of course, I know you're not going to eat Wagyu beef. National Tomato Day. Elizabeth would definitely celebrate Tomato Day. But she's not going to eat any Wagyu beef. I'll say one thing, folks. I've had numerous meals with Elizabeth, and she never cheats. She is a vegan all the way, and some of her stuff I like too. Amanda's now will occasionally fix a vegan meal, but we're not doing it all the time like Elizabeth does. But she is a pure vegan with everything she does. I'm impressed that she has that kind of control. Big fat guy like me, I got no control. So, what airline are you using to Alaska and back? I am on American this time. All the way, just one airline. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for the weekend. Again, I've got to go out today and pick up some prescriptions, but then I'm going to get back and get in the pool. So I'm probably not going to run around any today. Maybe I'll get out tomorrow morning and do some filming. I keep putting it off. I'm getting really bad about putting stuff off, folks. All right, that's going to wrap it up, guys, for the weekend, or at least for today. I will come on, tongue. I will monitor things over the weekend just in case anything major happens, and who knows, we'll jump on at a minute's notice. Hey, Chillie, what all booked so far on the March 31st cruise? If you're allowed to say, who all's booked? Well, there's some people that you don't know, actually. That's not it. That would be it. Okay, the March 31st cruise. We've got Helene Kaplan. We've got Mary Elizabeth Hoffernan, Catherine Drainen, and Peg Lorenzen so far with Hot Air Tom and me and you and Robin. So good little group to start. Some of the New York ladies are, I think they're talking to a number of their friends. So we may be getting some more people coming in here in the next little bit. So we'll have a little group on that. Now I don't mind telling you who I've got, Kenneth. I am going to try this weekend to get a Facebook page up for that specific cruise, so we can track things and keep specialty dining dates together if anybody wants to go to specialty restaurants and all those kind of things. So hopefully that'll get done sometime this weekend. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thumbs up, please. We had quite a few people in that. We had 61 people in the house. So it'd be great if all of you guys hit that thumbs up button. That would help out tremendously. In the meantime, you guys have a fantastic day and a fantastic weekend. I'll see everybody back here Monday unless something happens over the weekend. All right, guys. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you Monday if I don't see you this weekend.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.